As Told by Us. Hi and welcome back to another episode of As Told by Us. Today we are joined by two new faces. You will see that there are some faces that are missing, but they have been temporarily replaced. Hi.
Hi.
I would like for you guys to just introduce yourselves. Ladies first.
Perfect. Hi, my name is Kathleen Chido Umpezisi, but I go by Kate. I am 29 years old and I'm here to vent.
Love it.
Hi, my name is Towanda Jare. I'm 32 years old.
Hey.
And I'm here to have a conversation.
Lovely. Welcome, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for taking the time out. I think the whole point of As Told by Us is for us to be able to tell our stories, and we're just really happy to have the two of you here with us today to just share what your experiences of life have been. So yeah, welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Happy to be here.
So, I met Kate on TikTok. Praise the Lord. Or social media. The only time you'll hear me say this, because if you've listened from season 1, you know I'm the one person that says can't stand social media. But I met Kate on social media and she was ranting on something that I thought was completely relatable, particularly looking at the previous episodes we had just done. So we had just done an episode on moving out, and I saw Kate's TikTok about moving back home. And I thought, guys, actually, this is another angle of life that we need to look at, right? So Kate, rant again.
Okay, where do I begin, guys? Where do I begin?
Start from the beginning.
Yeah,
From
what
the
happened?
beginning.
Start from just like paint us a picture of how you grew up and what your context of being an adult was like. Like, what stories did you build up in your mind about what being an adult would have looked like?
Okay. So I'll start in the beginning. I did my grade 1 to grade 7 in Harare. Went to school properly. Then come high school. High school was the worst. High school was the worst because I went to 8 different high schools. I am telling you.
Explain. Why?
Bombastic side eye.
8 different high schools. I went to convent for 2 years in Bulawayo. And then from there I went to E-Tech. I left E-Tech. I went to Metro. Left Metro. I came to Harare. I went to ILSA. I went to Spaces. I did private tutoring for a bit and then ended up at Yuma. So that was high school for me.
Wow.
And why it took so long is in between that I lost my mom when I was 15.
Oh, so
So I kind of took a break. Thank you. I kind of took a break from school. And after that, I just didn't test well. So I would go to school, try and do my exams and then not come out right and then go again. And my fuel for going again was mostly based on, I grew up with people that were street smart. Not so book smart. And I did not like the street smart life, if that makes sense. Like the hustler life. Sometimes you have money, sometimes you don't. I wanted to have money all the time. So I was told, okay, so you need to go to school, get the degree, and then meet the boy, get married, and then you guys buy a house, and then, life goes on. So I kept pushing. I started college when I was 21.
okay.
Started college when I was 21. And in between this, I was also just going to school and work. So I'd maneuver that.
Where did you go to college?
College, I went to Women's University. Yeah. So I'll try and maneuver between school and work. At some point, I was teaching. So I'd start my day at like 6, get to the school I'll be teaching at, work until 5. leave work, get a combi from Avondale, get into town, go to Women's University, which is in Manresa, leave there at 8, come back into town, go back home in Highfields. I did that for 2 years. And this was just make sure I get the education, like, because
Wow,
I
girl.
was so focused on getting educated no matter the cost.
What were you studying?
I was studying social work. So I'm a social worker.
Okay.
Yeah. So that went well, I guess. Managed to graduate in 2023. And then the job hunt started. Could we get social work jobs in Zim, guys? Oh, the job market in Zim is crazy. It is crazy. It is mostly based on who you know.
Yeah.
And if you don't know anyone, you're stuck. You'll go for an interview and they've already picked someone for it,
Yeah.
So instead of social work, I ended up doing something completely unrelated to what I studied. And I did dental coordination. We call it insurance verification as well. I did that for 3.5 years. This would have been my 4th year. So I moved out in 2023 in April. That's when I moved out. And I had my first apartment. It was a little bed sitter in Borrowdale. And it was cute, guys. Like, my bed was right next to my couch. And then the kitchen's like right over there as well. Like, everything was just in one room. But it was mine, And I was like, yeah, I've done it, I might have had a late start to it, but I actually managed to get what I wanted. And so work went well. I did that, still not doing what I studied. And 3 years down the line, that job ended. And then life started. And I realized, look, I've been doing this for 3 years. I have no experience in what I studied for 4 years. So what exactly am I doing?
Yeah.
What am I doing? And that really hurt because I'm like, I could stay in this job and just be comfortable. I could afford my rent. I could afford my groceries, my bills. I could afford to go out, get clothes and stuff. And I was comfortable, It was nice. I will not lie. It was nice. But am I doing what my purpose is supposed to be? Like I am very people-hearted. So I really wanted to be helping people, and I was not doing that. So my job became very mundane at some point, very repetitive, and I got so frustrated. And I just had to make that decision to just, take a step back and figure out how life would be from there. So here we are.
So where did you go?
From my job. So I left my job in November 2025, and I tried to push, like with my savings. I tried to push. I'm like, okay, I can take care of myself while I try and look for a job in my field. And then 3 months later, still nothing. And this was a conversation my brother had to come and have. And this was a tough conversation, I will not lie.
Of course.
Because I had become so independent. Now, my brothers had to come in and they were like, look, what you're doing is working for now. But you can't do this for 10 years. You're not happy. The money's not making sense anymore. The economy's changing. What are we doing? What do you want to do? I'm like, look, I want to study. I want to do what I studied. They're like, okay, so what does that look like? I'm like, I just need to find a job in social. They're like, okay, that's not a plan. You know what you want to do, but that's not a plan. What is your plan? And we had to sit down and we're like, okay, I'm going to have to give up my apartment. And that broke my heart because that house was everything to me, guys. Like I created a home where people could just come in and chill and it's funny. We laugh about this with my friends and would always say people come in, eat and sleep at my house. Like I would give people timers. I'm like, in 2 hours you'll be out, like flat out. That's how peaceful my home was.
Nice.
And to me that was like a really prized possession, and to let that go, oh my goodness. So yeah, we sat down and they're like, okay, what do you want to do? So I was giving up my apartment, officially just leaving the dental industry and just starting from scratch. So I moved back home on the 1st of February. And yeah, here we are.
Thank you for sharing that. I think
Thank
it
you.
takes a lot of courage as well, and just like strength to be able to just sit down with yourself, and maybe with the help of your brothers to be like, yo, maybe I need to rethink my life. It's not an easy like conversation to confront, but
Yeah.
I think kudos for you to you for like just sitting down and saying like, yo, look, this is not it. And I think there's something to be said about when life doesn't go the way that you want it to go. It's okay to kind of just like start again. I don't think we're told enough that it's okay to start again.
Yeah. Especially if you've done everything right. Like I was a lover girl, guys. I think at some point when I was in like form 2, I was like, I want to get married by 21
Yes.
and have the babies and have my family. And at some point I had to give that up because I was told, go to school, stay away from the boys and get the degree, go to work, and then the boys will come. The boys are not coming. Let me tell you, they are not coming. They're nowhere close.
Mr. Jaure,
There's one right next to you.
Mr. Jaure, what's your story?
Man. That's crazy. Boys pull up. But yeah, very interesting to hear what you have to say, Kate. Personally, I think I'm just going to try and do what you did similar.
Yeah.
Went to primary school. I started at Selwyn Rutledge, which is grade 1 to 3 for me. Most of my family, most of my cousins, they went there. It was like a family, send our kids there. You know what I mean? My dad then took me out of there, sent me to Hartman House in grade 4. At that time, it started in grade 4. Did that until grade 7, and then went to St. George's for high school, and then I went to Gateway for A-level and finished there. So that's just, my background. And I think from a planning my life perspective, my parents really wanted me to be a doctor. My dad, all his friends were doctors, and he was a chemist. He was, he had his own career, but he really, really wanted me to be a doctor. So that kind of influenced even like the subjects I did at A-level, and actually, finishing high school, looked for medical schools to attend. My idea of adulthood was become a doctor, make tons of money, get married, have kids, buy a nice house with a couple German shepherds, white picket fence, typical white picket fence.
I like that.
And it was, it seemed like it was a bulletproof vision.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't say I really had a vision of my own that was outside of my parents' influence. Yeah. I mean, I was really big into sports, so I focused on that a lot. I was good in school too, but I don't think I really put that much thought into, what can I become outside of being a doctor. So went to medical school, and that's when I realized that, this isn't for me. This is
Cut it.
crazy.
Yeah.
We're not, this is, I was doing all right, passing anatomy, physiology, all the classes, no problem, but started dealing with cadavers, started dealing with, started, and this is just regular class, like come through, wear your mask, wear your garments.
And a dead body's right there.
Yeah, identify this nerve, that nerve, and you have to pull out an artery so you can find that nerve.
No way.
And these bodies have been dead for anywhere between 5 to 40 years.
What the
People
hell?
that donate their bodies. It doesn't happen every day, guys.
40 years.
Yeah, 40 years.
Okay.
But surely, for 40 years, people have been.
Yeah, so you can tell.
Plucking
You can
and-
tell.
You can tell?
Yeah, you can tell that it's been, been
Like a dead
cut
body up in.
Yes, it's like, yeah. You can.
So mal.
Yeah, there's cadavers where it's like skeleton, arteries, nerves, and just tissue here and there, and it's like dried up. And then the smell as well, because they pump it up with formaldehyde so that the body doesn't decay.
But obviously the stench.
Yeah, the stench.
And then
was
at that
insane.
point, he said,
I'm like,
Jumanji
no.
me out of here.
And then I thought about it. I was like, what does my actual career look like as a doctor? Like bones sticking out, people passing away. Like I wasn't built for that, guys. And when they said medicine is a calling, I really understood it when I was in there. So I got myself out of it. Jumanji'd myself out of it. So I came back after like a year and a half of studying medicine, to the disappointment of my father. But
Can
I
you
was
tell me
gonna
how that
ask.
conversation went.
yeah, so I remember by the time it was first semester, second year, I'd already decided that, we're not doing this. I now need to find a way to break this to my parents. And please don't judge me when I say this.
No judgment here.
Please,
Listen, we don't
please.
judge.
Like, I don't think my parents even know this. But
Oh, but this is going on the internet.
that's
though.
fine. It
Okay.
is what it is. You heard it here first. Yeah, so they sent me Maria's school fees and I chowed it.
Ah, she sure made.
Listen and we don't judge.
And so that's...
What did you chow your money on? I'm interested to
I
know.
bought some clothes, fam. Like, that's just not in and...
So real. That's the most honest answer, bro. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I was so far from home, and flying back home per holiday wasn't feasible for me.
Yeah.
So I spent it on eating good,
Nice.
just the things that a uni student would want to do if they had the money, So I did that. Had a difficult conversation about, Maria Genda Kupi. I came up with some story. I can't remember what I said. I must have been like Nagabiru Buzz or something. I don't know. And I was like, listen, I have to come home. I'm not doing this anymore. I can't do it. It went from doing all these things to kind of hide and, get an excuse to me just openly saying, guys, I want to come home. And that's the end of the story. Can't do this anymore. And they bought me a ticket, flew home, and I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life at that point. All I knew was I don't want to become a doctor.
Got it.
And so my entire childhood just, and what I thought adulthood was going to be for me, out the window.
Out the window.
So I ended up working with my dad at his company while I figured myself out. I did that for like a year. And I decided that, listen, my journey from now on is going to be owned fully by me. The decisions, the research, all of that has to be done by me so that I can make an informed decision of where my life is supposed to head. So I ended up just doing research, uni brochures, just reading about different careers, degrees, and all that. It went without saying that I was going to get a degree. Now it's just a matter of which one.
Yeah.
And also, I didn't want to leave the country again. So that's why I then enrolled by the University of Zim, by UZ. My mom lives in Mount Pleasant as well, so I would commute from home, which was perfect for me.
Yeah.
I was all the way in China for my medical degree, and that's like a very difficult thing to be away from home. And things were happening at home as well, which I won't get into, but being away from home while those things were happening also kind of took a toll, and I'm not supposed to be doing this and all these. So came back and worked with my dad, figured out, hey, technology is something interesting. I'm a logical thinker. I'd like to think myself of a problem solver just in general in life. So naturally I went there, enrolled in computer science at UZ, graduated late meaning I'm not the typical age that people graduate at.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have some of the closest friends I have from UZ, and they're like way younger than me, And I forget that sometimes because they're so mature and you went to class together.
Yeah.
You're kind of like,
Yeah.
Started building websites while I'm at uni at this time because I'm a little older, so no one's giving you pocket money. Like, wakura, you know what I mean? Like, it's a weird space to be.
Yeah.
Also, you refuse
How
to
was
be a doctor.
how was dating?
I was dating.
Yeah, I was in a relationship I was in a long-term relationship during that time. When I came back, she'd already finished her degree at UCT. She's also a lawyer.
Oh.
And yeah, it went well until it didn't, you know. And I think everyone goes through
Yeah.
learning experiences, you know. That relationship taught me a lot. It really taught me a lot. I'm hoping it taught her too, but I can't speak for her. I can speak for myself at that point. But when it ended, I just started my degree, or I think I was like a year into my degree. It's a 4-year degree. And yeah, after that ended, I was just like, yo, let me just lock in. I'm a student at this point. You know, let me stabilize my life. You know, I'm not the youngest. I'm running my own race, but I was also cognizant of, you know, all of that. My dad passed away while I was in school in 2021. So that also, no, sorry,
Sorry.
it's all right, life happens.
Mine
it also,
too.
Yeah.
So, somebody say sorry to me too.
I'm so sorry.
Thank
for
you.
your loss.
Sorry.
I'm so sorry.
So sorry, everyone.
Yeah, no, these things happen in life and you
Yeah.
can't really control it. And so finished my degree and, you know, looked for a job, typical Zim market, navigating that, really difficult. Got an opportunity through someone, got an interview, and started working at a security company in the IT department. By this time, I've been building websites since I was in uni, so now I know I want to code. Like, I taught myself how to code out of necessity, not even, like, trying to, like, you know, it was really out of, I need money in my pocket, you know. And so that kind of segued into what I actually do now, which is software development.
Nice.
But I didn't get to do that much with my first job because it was IT officer, like, fix the Wi-Fi. You know what I mean? Wi-Fi is good, like, funeral liquid.
Turn off your computer and turn it back on.
You know, so it was an interesting experience. It was working for a security company. It's a lot of saluting. It's a lot of hierarchy. It's a lot
Saluting?
of all of that. Yeah, absolutely. It's a semi-military organization.
Security.
Interesting.
Yeah, so
CIA.
exactly.
Okay, tell me about the first time you left home.
Yeah, so my journey in terms of leaving home has been staggered with multiple attempts. So my first attempt was ill-advised because I didn't have a stable income. I thought I was going to go live with my cousin, which I did, and work for him. And yeah. Thinking back on it, it doesn't make sense. But the plan was live with my cousin because he had a business going on. You know, he still does have that business going on. So I was like, hey, listen, I'll help you drive your cars. I'll help you with your errands, chi. And in exchange, I get to live with you and you pay me a little sum. Yeah. That didn't work out. And I went back to my mom's house. Okay. So again, back at mom's house, looking for jobs. Might get a website here and there, you know, get Kayang 3-4 wire. But it'll push you until it's done, right?
Yeah.
So I then got the security job. I was at my mom's house the entire time because I also moved because of work for like 6 months to Rwanda. So I lived in Kigali for like 6 months. That was an interesting experience. And that was my first real taste of living by myself because, you know, granted it was subsidized. The company paid for everything. But I had my own apartment, my own things.
It was
like,
nice.
It was
Rwanda.
beautiful.
It was nice.
It was beautiful. And guys, Kigali is beautiful. I highly suggest that you travel there at some point in your life. East Africa is just a different vibe. So yeah, I really liked that experience. But I knew at the back of my head and at the front of my head that I could not afford this back in Zimbabwe, you know. So came back, worked that job for another 6 months, and again, similar to you, Kate, I asked myself, what am I doing here, you know? Am I really going to grow? the way that I need to grow professionally and
Is
as
this
a
the
person.
generational wealth we're supposed to build? Is this going to buy the mansions and the yacht?
Gonna stand,
Gonna stand,
Stand, no, deposit, not even the whole thing. Just stand deposit. You might not be able to save up for that.
Imagine that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so, worked that job for a little bit, and I quit that job because I wasn't even coding anymore. I was just general
Fixing
admin.
Wi-Fi.
Exactly, fixing Wi-Fi and lots of politics. You know how things are, and a lot of, I'm not gonna, name names and stuff, but you guys understand what I'm saying. So I went back into coding. Again, I'm still at my mom's house, back to no income. I was comfortable. I got a salary,
Comfortable.
contributing to my groceries,
Yes.
Adulting.
I was paying the Wi-Fi.
Adulting light is how you realize it.
And especially in the absence of my dad at this time, I'm really leaning into that. I come from a very traditional family, so, all of those things really, I live that, So what does it?
He's the oldest.
I am the oldest, I'm the firstborn.
Oh no.
So you see the
Sorrows.
Crazy.
Sorrows, praise.
It's getting worse.
It's insane. So threw myself back into code, and, one connection after the next, literally just networking. Friends, colleagues, got a client, but this time I started looking for more longer term clients that can pay me a retainer every month instead of just, here's your website and never see you again.
So like maintenance, GG.
Exactly. So I finally got my first client, based in the UK, Zimbabwean who'd been living there for a long time, based there. And started getting Kayang income, working remotely. And I'm like, oh, wow, this feels good because I'm actually doing what I want to do. And I'm actually getting paid for it.
Yeah.
And so, I started thinking about, at the same time, this is now like 2024. At the same time, I'm 30 years old. I'm living with my mom. And you guys understand the kind of frictions that happen when you're living with your parents at that age. I love my mom to death. It's just, sometimes, especially as a guy, getting pressure from all sorts of corners from the family. And Abamkuru talking about, it's crazy. So you take all of that and then my own need for my own space and just all of that. I started thinking about moving out on a retainer, right? Mind you, I'm not an employee. I'm a consultant, so I write an invoice. There's no medical aid. There's no chaguti, but the money was all right, so I was like, all right, let me think about moving out. So did that, tried to stack up a little bit, but it got chowed by life again. So I was like, you know what, I'll never move out because excuses kept coming up.
Yeah.
No, I just need a couple extra months. I just need 3 more months. So I just chucked myself in the deep end, and started looking for places. And, it so happened that at the same time, I have friends who were trying to move out as well. And so we decided to join forces. But before we did that, I'd already moved into an apartment in Mandara. Not an apartment, a cottage. So it's like full house. There's a family with 7 dogs.
Wow.
And
I
then
mean, you got your dogs.
Yeah.
German Shepherds.
German Shepherds. You know how people in Mandara love German Shepherds. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is.
I love it.
And it was like,
Look at
okay,
you.
so if I come back at 2 a.m., how's this going to work? Because they bark, like, they're aggressive like that, Anyways, I lived there for a month because it just didn't work. Like, the advert versus what was on the ground, guys. Like, be very
Girl, what
careful.
we say this?
Oh my gosh,
Be
house
very
hunting in
careful.
Harare? Oh no.
I will say this. If you find an advert with everything that you want on that list for a price that's too good to be true,
That's too good to
Run.
be true.
it's too good to be true. You know what I mean? So these guys told me they had solar because, bear in mind, I work remotely at this point.
Yeah.
So I need solar. It's non-negotiable, okay? And so he was like, yeah, no, there's solar. You get there, and it's like a little battery that lost work 6 months ago. And he's like, no, the technician is coming. It was like, spent another week.
Whale.
Awkward.
No whale.
You know?
Wow.
So, so I was like, okay, I'm continuing to look for a place. Okay. But at this point, I'm already out, and there's no sliding back, you know? That's my mind. And at the same time, God blessed me with another client through another one of my friends. So now I'm getting 2 retainers at the same time. So that kind of helped me when I really moved out. That's the final push, and I'm still moved out. I'll talk about the challenges of that in a second. So we join forces. We start looking for a place together.
With your friends?
Yes. So it's the 3 of us, right? We start looking for places. We do the rounds, and we realize quickly that listen, we come from. At least I can speak for myself. You know, I lived in Mount Pleasant. My other friend lived in Chizzy. These are nice areas, relatively speaking, and they're expensive. And what we quickly realized is there's a certain boundary in Harare that you must draw, right? And within that, it's expensive.
Yeah.
And if you go out of that,
You can't
things
come
start to become a little realistic. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
Starts to become a little realistic. So we started looking, you know, Madokero, Westgate, Santa, new areas, you know, until we settled where we are now, which is in Tinwald. Lots of space, there's solar, there's water. It's just one hell of a commute, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the further you go, it's less expensive. But
It's far.
further.
Exactly.
Far, yeah, the
so
commute is hectic.
compromises have to be
Yeah.
made, because in my mind I'm like, I have to do this, you know. And so we moved in after such a struggle. And what I will say about the initial part of moving in, from my experience, is that it's more expensive than you think it is. Just think about it from this perspective, right? You decide you're trying to move out. You're paying a viewing fee. Let's say you found an agent. You're paying a viewing fee, right? Just to put your eyeballs on these places, right? To appeal from a group. Oh, I like that one. Okay, they give you the number of the landlord. You organize with them. When can I come see? You put fuel in your vehicle to go and see. Just, again, to go and see, right? You do that for 3, 4, 5 places, okay? Maybe even more, depending on, you know, what you're looking for exactly. All right, you find a place. You link with the landlord. The first thing he wants is a deposit, which is equivalent to rent.
Yeah.
And then he wants rent. He or she wants rent. They also want a leasing fee, right? Just to sign the lease.
Yeah.
And then the cost of actually moving your stuff.
No, don't forget also there's rates, there's levies.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Cost of moving, guys.
cost of moving is
It's
insane.
hectic.
It's
Yeah.
just expensive.
Just a truck.
Oh,
Yeah.
my goodness.
Yeah.
And then you need a bed, and then you need a
Yeah.
stove, and then you need a
Right.
fridge, and then you need blankets. And
So-
remember how I said, like last episode, when I was telling you that sheets are sold separate, that you don't
Curtains.
buy.
Have you seen the price of curtains?
Curtains, curtain rods.
It's insane.
That a
my
gas tank
gosh.
doesn't come with a
With the
regulator.
pipe? No.
Yeah, you
yeah.
need to buy the regulator.
Right.
The regulator is $5. Sometimes it's $2, depending where you're
The
buying
gas
it.
itself.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
you're right.
You guys mentioned something though, like both your stories. I'm kind of deviating from the moving out though. Both your stories have some similar threads in that there's starting over. So you started over in terms of coming from
Med school.
med school and then kind of like it may have felt like a couple of steps back.
All the way back.
Yeah, all the way back. And then starting again. And then you're also like in that kind of starting over kind of period. I want to talk a little bit more about that because I think there's a stigma, right, around starting over.
Yeah.
And a fear, right?
And a fear.
Absolutely.
Crippling fear, guys.
Exactly. And what really stood out to me in your story was that like you knew this is not for me. And even you were like, oh, yo, this is not for me. Like, and just like the courage to be able to be like, actually,
Yeah.
let me start over. Like let's talk more about that, because I think a lot of people out there are stuck in situations where it's like, this is not what I wanted for my life.
Right.
How can they also find that strength to start over?
I would like to start by saying the blessing of having somewhere to come back to. Oh my goodness, I cannot imagine what life would be like if I did not have a home to come back to.
Right.
So that's step number one. But it's tense. It's tense. I used to be up all night and then probably fall asleep at like 6, wake up at like 2 p.m. You can't do that in somebody else's house. It's a whole reset of your entire system, of your habits. Yeah, so it's tense. I will not lie. But what you have to do for a season is, I think it's worth it in the long run. Like how he was saying, now he's doing something that he loves and it's making sense. It might be small, but it's small steps towards the big goal, you know? So, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, to add on to what Kate just said, in terms of starting over, adulthood is going to force you to do that a lot. Just in general, whether it's relationships, jobs, where you're staying, everything. The muscle to be able to start over is a necessary muscle for adulthood. You know, and I feel like the fear of failure keeps a lot of people, especially when you have somewhere to fall back to, right? Like mom's house. It allows you to not take certain risks because you know that you'll be fine at the end of the day, right? But really, I encourage you to put yourself in a space, in a mental space at the very least, and assume that you don't have a fallback. Because that muscle where it's like, I need to make it work. It's a necessary muscle that will take you places. And there will come, not to sound gloomy, but there will come a time where you won't have as much support as you do right now, right? And that's a hard thing to reconcile with, because you have all the support. Like your reality, I think as human beings sometimes, trying to put yourself artificially in a certain space can be very difficult, right? And so for me, I'm someone who works off of something goes wrong in my life, and then I use that, whatever rage it is or disappointment or being upset, I use those emotions to fuel me to make sure that I don't go through that again.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So it's a difficult muscle because you're going through anxiety. Like going through it, it's easier said than done. I'm speaking as if it's like a textbook, but it's really difficult to start over. But I feel like the more you tackle that head on, the more prepared you are for adulthood, because adulthood will force you to start over again and again and again.
Can you tell me the conversation you had with yourself, the moment you said, I'm Jumanji, and also I now need to fess up and say, this is what I want to leave, right? In that moment,
Yeah.
or was there a moment? Maybe it was like a gradual moment.
No, it was gradual.
But when you picked up the phone to call your dad to say, listen, say need anymore, what did you have to say to yourself to encourage yourself to even pick up the phone in the first place?
To be honest, if we're going to speak about a moment, I think we can talk about, again, the realization that this isn't for me, like just spending my life. So now I have to talk to my dad, I have to talk to my mom, and I have to explain to them. That moment came when I think I went like 2 months without getting money from home. So I was like teaching Chinese kids how to speak English. And I was like, why am I doing all this? It's going like, I'm supposed to do 6 years of the
Teaching is a calling.
As well.
teaching.
Yes,
is,
it's a
I
calling.
think that's more of
Oh
my
my
calling than
gosh.
medicine. But the reason why I say what
Teach
am I
me
doing
code.
is because I will if you really. So yeah.
No, we really.
Yeah, I'm dead serious.
Slight segue. My dad was a great teacher, and so I took that from him.
Nice.
He used to grill me in terms of maths, and all these things. He was really technical like that. So I currently mentor people who are trying to get into the IT industry.
Mentor me.
Just from a high
Are you trying
level.
to go into IT?
yeah, actually, yes, I am.
Yeah, a lot of people are, and
Yeah.
so yeah, I'm very much open to that. Have a chat with me, no problem.
After
Yeah.
Yeah.
after the show.
But yeah, I was teaching kids, trying to make a little money. I didn't even like what I'm doing. It's gonna take 10, 20 years to actually, because you have to finish school and then do
Yeah.
pre-med, like all of these things, residency and specialization. I'm like, do I really want to do that? And so I remember when I finally talked to my parents, like heart to heart, and I'm like, I'm not trying to do this. This is not who I am. This is not who I see myself being. I felt low key like I was opening my eyes to be like, who you thought you were gonna be isn't gonna happen. And so it's a very unsettling feeling to have a certain idea of yourself and then that just go out the window and there's nothing. It's a void. That void is what a lot of people are scared of.
Yes, it's so
And I
scary.
encourage you guys to dive into that void, because coming out of that void will enable you to be able to come out of the other voids waiting for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm making sense.
No, I hear.
You're
I think
making
it's
so
also
much
though, like
sense.
Kate said, that to know that you have a safe place to go after making such a choice, right? Because if your dad had said, "My kid is going to do medicine, like it or not,"
Yeah.
that's what you're going to do, right? And there's that rejection. So either
Right.
you stick it out and you just do it, or you say, "Well, I don't want to do it, so bye." But now you have nowhere
Exactly.
to go. And I
Exactly.
think that's the fear of the unknown, because
Exactly.
your parents might actually surprise you and say, "Hey, listen, if it's not working, it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's start again."
Right.
But there's that fear of, like, you grew up, especially as Zimbabweans, we grow up with our parents on us
Yeah.
so much that
Yeah.
you're now really afraid of actually saying, "Mate, I changed my mind. I don't
Yeah.
But
want
you know,
to
I
do
think
this."
the interesting thing
Absolutely.
is that we think that our parents would have like visceral reactions
Yeah.
to us
Yeah.
saying, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
But in reality, I think that we build this
Yeah.
this reaction
Yeah.
in our minds
Yeah.
without necessarily realizing that they're just people who want the best for us.
Absolutely.
And if we just gave them the chance to be like, yo, look, actually, this is what's on my heart and I really don't want to do this. 9 times out of 10, they
Right.
really will be welcoming.
Yeah.
Because like at the end of the day, they're our
Yeah.
parents.
You're very right.
Something similar happened to me. When I moved back home, I was very defensive. I remembered what it was like being home before I'd moved out. So I already had my guard up. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I have to be up in the morning and I have to do this and this and this. But shout out to my sister-in-law. She's like, no, Tete, go and sleep.
Oh, come on.
Breathe. What do you want to do today? Let's watch a movie. Like, the reaction was not, it was nothing like I expected it to be. So you're definitely right.
Before we close, tell me what it feels like, right, as a woman. You have done everything right. You're not pregnant. You stayed away from the boys.
I stayed away from boys.
Now the boys are coming.
You completely rejected the boys.
Oh
now
my
they
gosh.
don't want to come. I don't know what you were like Bauer scene wise, but I'm going to assume it was in the bed again because
Yeah.
you were pregnant.
Yeah.
So knowing that you did it right, at least you followed the steps that everybody said, if you do this, you will be successful, right? And then it doesn't work out the way they told you it was going to work out. Tell me what that's like.
It is disappointing. it is disappointing because initially the idea of school, I'm a very artistic person, so loving dance, music, arts, and I had to put that aside for the education to get the degree. And I did that. And it's crazy that after I've done that, it still didn't work out. So I was very, very disappointed. And I'm still navigating that feeling because I still feel like I failed somehow, even though it was out of my control, honestly. I did everything right, like you said. But there's other external factors that they don't talk about, like the job market, people, navigating people, like in relationships and stuff. You meet very interesting people, and it's not just easy to find somebody that is compatible with you. Again, like job markets, life. So it's been tense. I will not lie.
What's the conversation with yourself?
One day at a time. One day at a time. I will not lie because I had a plan. I'm a planner. I had a plan. Like I said, I did everything right. And when that didn't work, I'm like, okay, so this is not working. What do I need to do now? Because if the planning did not work initially, then what do I need to do to get to where I need to get to? So one day at a time. I will not lie.
I think this kind of reminds me of a previous episode we did about reimagining or redefining certain terms for ourselves, right? So what is success? You know, what is failure? Because Jawari, maybe for you, success was the white picket fence and, you know, and the wife and how many kids.
Still is.
Yeah, I mean, it still is, right? But then also I think we can say that you successfully, you know, switched to a different career path, and you've kind of started forging your way through that. And I mean, that's a W on its own. Like just because what we may have thought when we were 25. What's the Winky D song?
I think she got 25.
Yes. Like the things that we thought we would have achieved by the time when
At
we
a
were
certain
18.
age.
Not even close.
Yeah, it was so
Not even
far
close.
from that. And so
Far.
for me, what has helped me is to just like redefine certain milestones.
And let go of the timeline.
Exactly.
Like let go.
But we don't have time, guys.
Bye.
We do not have time. We are getting to 30s and these things are not going to build themselves.
But that's the
You know.
thing, though. I think because I'm 32.
But you have to think about it.
32.
There we go.
I'm 32,
go.
but I still feel like,
you
and I
go.
haven't achieved a lot of the things that I thought I would have.
Yeah.
But
Doesn't
I
mean
still
you
feel
won't.
like it doesn't feel like I still feel like I have a lot of time.
I think you have to also like who set the timeline? Who said
Yeah.
it has to be by 35? Like I remember, like if you asked me when I was 18, I would have told you for sure by now I would have been 4 kids deep.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
I would be in my house, built. It used to be a double story, and then
Now it's a single
now
story.
you know, even the 4 kids have no glue.
Yeah.
Who's having 4 in this
From
economy?
your own yard to a cluster. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, like
I
it used to
hear
be
you.
smart house. Now I'm
Yeah.
like with the water, electricity. You know, all of these things that
That's
we all thought,
Yeah.
but again, timeline had to change. Expectations, reality really hit, and you realize, listen, I might not be able to afford the things that I initially thought, or maybe later on,
Right.
perhaps, or you know what, I don't need it. Like, do I need a 15-bedroom house?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I
Because
don't
then
think
I had one for like everybody. Everybody in my family had a house, had a
Yeah.
room. No, you can share. It's okay. Like, you'll be fine. So letting go of the expectation, letting go of the
Yes.
timeline, and then redefining.
Yeah, like she said,
What it
redefining terms. I was watching a TikTok by Tawanda Madondo, and she was calling this phase that we're in of starting over as grief. You need to grieve the person that you were before, and you are not going to go to the next person until you actually experience that. So it's literally just redefining that and whew, it's tense.
Yeah.
And also, what are you comparing yourself with, right? I'm going to say the parents.
A lot of us.
Yourself, actually.
Now you realize that they grew up in a different economy. Their job market was completely different.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't go through.
They didn't even necessarily need to have degrees to do well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So who's setting the standard? You have to set your own at this point. We have no blueprint. This is a very uncharted territory. that we're
Uncharted
in.
territory, that's right.
But just to finish off though, like I just want to ask one question to everyone. What would you tell yourself? What would you tell 18-year-old you based on what you know now? Like 2 sentences.
Go into computer science immediately. I would have told myself that.
80-year-old me. I've never thought about that.
Okay, maybe Kuda can tell us while you're thinking.
Yeah.
I think I've said this before because we've asked this question before.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I think the answer still stands. Like, don't take yourself too seriously. Calm down. It's gonna be okay. Breathe, but don't put so much expectation on yourself. And like enjoy it. Enjoy guys, if I was 18 again. Woof, enjoy it.
Yeah.
Is what I would tell myself. And calm down. You'll be fine.
I think I'll tell myself it's okay to start again. There's a whole world waiting for you out there. And it's actually something I thought of when I was going through one of these days. And I actually thought, look, I might not have everything I've wanted right now, but I've had glimpses of it. Like the first time at my first apartment, didn't get my first car, but like I got to take myself out to restaurants, concerts, and I've had friend groups. I've had girls that are like my people, like that. I've had community in the church, and I might not have it all now, but I'm seeing glimpses of it. So there's a whole world waiting out there.
I love that.
I really like that.
I
Yeah.
love that a lot.
Thank you guys.
What would you
Oh
What's
my
the
gosh,
answer?
what would I tell myself? I think I would just tell myself to give myself grace. Like, just give yourself grace. You're gonna fall, and it's okay. You're gonna take the wrong turn. You're gonna make the wrong choices, but it's okay to do that because you have such a beautiful community of people supporting you, and I think it's a lot like what we've just been talking about today, to just say like, yo, it's okay to start over. It's okay to move out of the house and then move back home, and then
Move out again.
this is, I think we're just in the process of figuring ourselves out every single day. So yeah,
I want to keep talking, but we can't.
I know time is a thief. But
Anyway, thank you for watching.
bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you.
And now, as told by us.